Namaste. Today I'll be explaining the 12th Sutra of Vibhudipada. It's the Ekagrata Parinama. The sutra is Tatah Punah. So Tatah Punah, the word Tatah is followed by the effect of the 11th Sutra. So 11th we have seen that it was about Samadhi Parinamaha. So in Samadhi Parinamaha, we saw that the mind becomes focused on a particular object, right? The mind is mind has achieved the ability of focusing on one particular object. Yeah, it is able to ward off the other cognitions which are arising in the mind. That is what we have understood. It is able to ward off all the other cognitions and be able to focus on one particular object, one aspect. So that is what is Samadhi Parinama. And now it is Ekagrata Parinama. In Ekagrata Parinama, what is important here is in the sutra, the aspects or the cognition, the object on which we are applying the dharana, dhyana and samadhi. There is one object that we are performing the samayama on, right? So when the mind is able to get that object into its cognition again and again, the same object repeatedly, that kind of state is called as Ekagrata Parinama. So if we go word by word of the sutra, Tatah Punah, thereafter. Thereafter what? After the Samadhi Parinama, next now comes the Shanta Udita. Shanta, you know, Shanta, which is quietened, which has disappeared, gone into the past. Okay, Udita, which is kind of arising or is manifest. Okay, Shanta Udita. So that which has disappeared into the past and that which is appearing in the present. Tulya Pratyayo. Tulya Pratyayo is Tulya, is equal, same, identical. Pratyayo is cognition. Okay, Tulya is equal and Pratyayo is the cognition. So what is happening here? The cognition which was Shant, which became Shant, so went into the past, and the cognition that is going on in the present, that cognition, both are equal. So what does this mean? It means that the cognition that we had in the past and the cognition that we are having now are the same. Okay, for example, I'll just try to explain to you with the slide that I've tried to make. I don't actually make a lot of slides, but let me just help you in understanding this. Okay. So what do you see here? Unmute yourself and tell me what you see here.
Om.
Oh. So I'm kind of, okay, it's not working that way. Yeah, I'm on the screen. It's an Om. You see an Om. Okay. Then, for example, you imagine this particular image to be the current cognition that is given to your brain, the current cognition in your brain. Okay. And then I shift the slide to the next one. Do you see? I scroll from here to here, right? What appears on the next slide?
Same, ma'am, nothing is changed.
Om
Again.
If I change, what is appearing?
Same. Again Om.
Yeah. So if you are keeping a track of the mind, it is changing the cognition, but the cognitions which are changing are exactly the same. what cognition the mind had in the past, it is having the same kind of cognition in the present also. Understanding it. So you see, something like that. Okay. What is happening here? How do you understand it? Now there are identical cognitions, right? Very identical cognitions. That which has disappeared in the past. Now the slide has disappeared in the past. When I move on to the next slide, the slide has gone into the past, right? And I'm on the current slide. But what we saw on the past previous slide is exactly the same as what we're seeing on the present slide. You getting it? So
Yes, ma'am.
what is this? Like the past is disappearing, the present is appearing. But when we look at what happened in the past and what is happening in the present are both identical. Okay. That aspect of the mind, that aspect of the chitta is called as ekagrata parinama. We all know that the meaning of parinama is transformation, change. Isn't it? So now what kind of transformation is happening here is the transformation emerging from the one-pointedness. You see, when the mind is concentrating only on Om, only on Om. Now I put the screen on full slide mode. Okay, I'm scrolling back to the previous slide. Okay, this is the previous slide. What do you see? You see something on the screen. Now I start focusing on Om. This is my dharana point. Okay, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. I've reached into samyama state. Okay, I only concentrate on Om. Now I keep concentrating on Om. Keep concentrating on Om. This is all the duration of my samyama. So again, Om, Om, Om. Okay, this is when it is ending. I'm out of my samyama. Okay, I came out of samadhi. Then the cognition is changing here. You're getting it? So until this point, all the cognitions were same. You didn't even realize that I was shifting the slides. Yes or no?
Yes.
I was actually scrolling through many slides. Have you seen that? I was scrolling through many slides. But did you even realize? What was it appearing to you? It was appearing as a single image, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So that is what is ekagrata parinama. Did you understand?
And I just want to ask you this with the example, if possible. I just tell you one thing. If I am concentrating on, suppose if I take Rama, if I am concentrating on Rama, then if I am just diverting to Krishna, then also I am realizing that that both are same is like Ekarmata Parinama, or we need to focus on only Rama thing only.
Only Rama. Only Rama.
Even
You
if we
can't
are
change the object of meditation. Rama, the object of meditation is different from Krishna.
so even the object is changing, but I know the reality that we can say it will become the like same only, right?
That is different.
That
What
is
you are trying to confuse yourself with is, see, this is a practice. You understand? This is a practice which is very practical and pragmatic. I mean, you are using an object. An object. It could be a god, a deity, a symbol, a mantra, anything. A particular place in your body, like a chakra, like Agna chakra or Vishuddhi chakra or any chakra in your body, it is a particular object that you are concentrating on. Okay, so while you are practicing this technique, you will not change the object whatsoever. You will not change the object meaning. If you are looking at Om, your object of meditation is only this red Om. You're not going into even the blue Om or any other Om.
So if the object is not moving, then always the concept, like the image, what we get is always it will be the same only, right? Even without like samyama, I think. Is it
No,
same?
it will be different. It will be different. It will be different. That is why we have so many siddhis, so many vibhutis, perfections. Why? Because we are doing the practice of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi on a particular object or aspect. Okay, we are doing dharana, dhyana, samadhi on one particular thing. It could be an idea, it could be a symbol, it could be a mantra, it could be anything, but it is only one particular thing that you are doing dharana, dhyana, and samadhi on. See, just think about the concept of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. In dharana, we have talked about the example of water when it flows from one beaker to the other beaker, right? So in dharana, we were looking at the molecules of water, and we understood that the water molecules had gaps in them. That is why the flow is not so smooth, right? And then we got into dhyana, and we saw that when dhyana becomes more deeper, when dharana becomes so deep, it will convert itself into a more stable and a more concentrated form. That concentrated form, we thought that it is an example of a liquid which is highly viscous, like that of oil or honey, right? It is more concentrated. You see less gaps, the molecules are like, when you look at the flowing liquid, it looks as if it's a single straight smooth flow, isn't it?
Yes.
And when we saw samadhi, we saw that the person who's actually doing the whole thing, dharana, dhyana, that person, he loses the identity of his own self, that he's the one who's meditating. You see the beakers, the spoons, and all those things are gone. Only the liquid is of the essence to that person. Okay, he loses the identity that he's the one who's doing it. Getting it? So what I'm trying to say is the whole process of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi can't be changed from one object to the other object. The focus can increase only when you're concentrating on a particular object. That object is of high importance in this. Whatever object you're concentrating on, you will be able to perfect that object. You will know in and out about it. You will go so deep that you will know, you will go to the crux of it. Okay, there's nothing more to know about it.
Okay, clear.
Yeah. So if we change the object, I don't think that is possible. I mean, to my understanding, what I've read from the books and understood, if we change the object, this level of depth is not possible. Do you agree? Anybody who has a different thought, you can kind of bounce it off.
Uh, May I, ma'am?
Yeah.
So actually, I'm not speaking about this Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, ma'am, but this UGC NET only. I have been, I think this is my third attempt, ma'am. So initially, first I got coaching for 6 months from somebody. They used to teach 8:30 to 10 o'clock. So I thought I learned everything. I understood everything. I approached. So I think I got around 166. I don't know what was the pass percentage that time. Then in the last December attempt, I didn't find time to study actually, so I attempted directly. And 4 days before, I just flipped through the old notes, and then my focus, the more and more attempts I started making, I felt the need to go deeper into this study, and I made an intention that I will study every day from for the next June exam. So when I focused, this flyer came to me, ma'am, through some WhatsApp. I don't know from where it came. So now I understand that when I'm focusing and I'm like totally connected with that object, I'm going deeper and deeper into it, ma'am. So first I had to focus on that. Then the thing of the object that I'm focusing came into contact with me, and there is a connection that has established.
Right.
That I'm seeing as my right now as my meditation to do a nice UGC entrance test, ma'am. The
Good.
more and more I'm doing and diving into it, I'm understanding the depth of it, ma'am.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing. I'm so glad that you brought this example up. I mean, it's so relevant and so nice. Yeah. So you understood, right? I mean, I feel this concept itself is such that it is helping you to understand and perfect one particular aspect. You are not shifting your focus from one thing to another thing and putting your mind into several things where it doesn't really go into any depth of anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So that is why the object is so important. Now, I think I made this concept very clear. Now, no doubts, right? 3.12, Ekagrata Parinama. I need a response. I mean, is that clear? Should I
Yes,
proceed with
yes, yes, yes.
3.13? Okay. Now, the next thing is the object of meditation. Before I start off with the 13th sutra, one more point that I would like to emphasize is that the object of the meditation can't be some random object, like, for example, you can't pick a donkey and make it an object of meditation. Okay, so the object also needs to carry that quality. Okay, the meditative phenomenon only happens when the object is having that quality which can attract your attention and just retain it to that level. So whatever examples have been given in the commentary also are such that they have, especially the Vyasa commentary, it always referred to the points in our own body like the chakras, and it referred to the points like the eyebrow center, the center of the forehead, the Sahasrara chakra, the Anahata chakra, the heart, on the navel, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the nose. Okay, these aspects have been the object of concentration. And apart from these, what we also see is in the different vibhudis discussed all through this chapter, starting from sutra number 15, 16 or 17 until 37, we have sutras only relating to vibhudis. I hope all of you know the meaning of vibhudi. What is vibhudi? It's a perfection. When there is a perfection attained or achieved on something, any aspect, that perfection is called as vibhudi. One has perfected it, mastered it. Okay, to an extent where they've gone into understanding something that the commoners can never understand. Okay, they've gone into that depth. That depth is possible only if the mind is made laser sharp. By what? By the practice of samyama. What is the practice of samyama? You all know that samyama is a triad of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Okay, so going to the 13th sutra now. 13th sutra is now how are these parinamas applied? Okay, etena bhutendriyeshu. Okay, etena is by the degree of concentration. Okay, by the degree of concentration that we have seen earlier. Bhuta and Indriya. You all know what is Bhuta. Bhuta are the substances or objects which are made of the elements. Okay. Indriya. What is Indriya? That which relates to the senses. Okay. So Bhuta, Indriya.
These are the Panchabhutas, sir?
Yeah. Yes. So it could be, see, elements by themselves or substances which are manifested from the combination of these elements. Getting it? So elements by themselves which are not combined, or elements which are present in different ratios in the substances that we see around, the objects that we see around. That is Bhuta. Indriya. Indriya is that which relates to the senses, the sense organs, the 5 sense organs, the Jnanendriyas. Okay. Bhuta, Indriya. So Dharma, Lakshana, Avastha. So Dharma is defined as the quality of the substance. Okay. Dharma is defined as the quality of that substance. Which substance? The Bhuta, Indriya. Okay. The quality of that substance. Lakshana. Lakshana is the sign or symptom, or that which is an indicator. Lakshana is that which is an indicator. So we see certain characteristics, right? So those lakshanas or those attributes, those symptoms or signs, all these are synonyms for lakshana. Okay. Dharma, you have to learn it as a quality that defines the substance. What is the quality that defines the substance? There will be XYZ qualities that are the dharma of that particular substance. And lakshana are the signs, symptoms, or indications of that substance. What is avastha? Avastha is the state in which that substance is. That state also can have changes, right? Everything, dharma, lakshana, avastha, all these three things will have changes. They are not static, because we know everything which is an evolute of Prakriti goes through transformation. Can it be static?
No, ma'am.
Even the oldest thing on the planet also will go through some kind of transformation, right? Even if it is after a millennia, even if it is after millions of years also, would it go through transformation or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
Avastha is the state of?
Hmm?
Avastha is the state of?
Avastha is the state of that substance, the state in which condition the substance is, the state of that substance. It could be any substance, yeah, it could be any substance that is an evolute of Prakriti. It could be Buddhi, Ahankara, it could be any of the evolute. It could be even the elements that we see around, like the Panchabhutas. It could be the combination of Panchabhutas, which is which could be like the objects that we see around us, our own body. Everything that we are seeing has dharma, lakshana, avastha, has a quality, has a particular sign, symptom, or an indication, and a particular state in which it is existing right now. Getting it? So these 3 aspects, dharma, lakshana, avastha, these 3 aspects go through changes, parinama. Okay, they go through changes. Dharma also goes through changes. Lakshana also goes through changes. Avastha also goes through changes. They are not static. They go through changes, which are called as parinama. And that is what can be explained. So why do they say that it can be explained? Can you relate it back to the initial point? Can you relate why we can explain the changes happening in the dharma, lakshana, and avastha of anything? How can we explain it?
By focusing on one object, ma'am?
Exactly, that's a beautiful answer. Yes, only because of the laser focused mind, we are able to say that the dharma, lakshana, avastha, there are changes to all these three things that we can very well explain. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that laser focused mind, which is having that ekagrata, that kind of mind will be able to clearly know what is happening in terms of dharma, lakshana, avastha, the transformations that are happening in these three aspects of any substance. Dharma, lakshana, avastha relate to any aspect of prakriti, right from buddhi onwards. Buddhi also has dharma, lakshana, avastha. Okay, all three dharma, lakshana, avastha go through transformations, and those transformations can only be explained by a person who's having a laser focused mind on that aspect. If you are focusing on buddhi, you will only be able to talk about dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinama of buddhi. You won't be able to talk about dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinama of ahankara or other things. Okay, of any other thing. The focus is only on a particular object. That is why you will be able to understand the changes happening and you'll be able to explain it. I hope I made myself clear. Yes or no?
This needs some assimilation, ma'am.
This needs some
Ma'am,
explanation.
ma'am,
Hmm.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Can
this
I give you
13,
more examples?
ma'am,
Would you like to take more examples on this?
no, ma'am, what I understood, I want to clarify it.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am. Means 13 sutra saying about means by practicing means it was relating before sutra means by practicing of one pointed focusing, then one is able to know means of the substances and that indriyas of dharma, lakshana and ambasta means three stages one will be able to know. Am I right?
Yes. Yes. See,
Okay.
this sutra came after the Ekagrita Parinama, right? Lipalika.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So in Ekagrita Parinama, what did we see?
Means person is one pointed practicing one pointed practice.
Hmm. So he's able to see the same cognition arising again and again, right? There's no other cognition in his mind.
Yes, ma'am.
That is what we've seen in Ekagrata. And after Ekagrata, look at the sequence of the sutra. Now it said, when we get that kind of Ekagrata, with that kind of focus in the mind, one will be able to explain these transformations. Okay, these transformations can't be explained by an ordinary guy who's not focused. The transformations can be only explained by a person who is having a laser focus on that object. That way he will know what is the dharma, what is the quality of object, what is the avastha, what is the lakshana. Okay, he'll be able to explain in detail about all these things, what are the changes which took place in all these things. Now, why they are saying all this is, see, if you relate it to the final culmination, like a person who's just about to, like in the state of moksha, he will know how many transformations he had had right from his start point, right? Right? How many births he had, how many experiences he had, from what he has transformed to what, the whole journey he will know, he will depict. Isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So why they've given this particular sutra in the Vibhuti Pada is for attaining any kind of Vibhuti, the basis of attaining vibhuti is this kind of focus. And with the focus, they will be able to talk about all these aspects, dharma, lakshana, avastha. That is why you see vibhutis. These can't be attained by a person who does not have focus in that object. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
the general common examples that people give are related to this. Okay, I'll also show you that. See, what do you see here? This is a lump of clay, right? Isn't it? Are
Ma'am,
you able
actually, I
to-
can
huh?
see. Ma'am, actually, I can see. I have network problem. Others can see.
Others, are you able to see?
yeah,
Yes,
maybe
ma'am.
Lipalika, you log out and log in again. Just try, no? Yeah, ma'am, we can see, ma'am.
So what do you see on the picture on the left side?
It's a clay, ma'am.
Ball
This
of
is
clay, ma'am.
clay. Yeah, this is a lump of clay, right? Why the clay is taken as an example is clay, the lakshana, what is the lakshana? Let's talk about the three aspects. Wait, let me use the pointer. Okay. So the clay has the three aspects. What are the three aspects? Jaldi.
Nature characteristic.
Dharma.
Dharma, Lakshana, Avastha.
Lakshana.
Just now you have learned, no?
Ma'am, Lakshana is the pot, no, ma'am? Or Avastha is the pot?
Avastha is the condition or the state. Avastha. ఏ అవస్థలో ఉన్నారు అని అంటాం కదా.
అవును ma'am.
That is avastha. Avastha is the condition or the state. Kis avastha mein ho? Which avastha are you in? What is your condition? So every substance has that condition, right? It will be in some, ante it might be in a particular condition, wet undi, dry undi, or it might be very hard. Some condition it is, right? In some condition.
The present one is the Avastha, ma'am.
It could be the
Present
past avastha also,
Okay.
present also, future also. You can
Oh,
tell all of the three. Past,
Okay,
present
okay.
and future avastha. ఏ conditions అయినా చెప్పొచ్చు. Every condition you can tell. What was it in the past? What was it its avastha in the past? What is its avastha in the present? What would be its avastha in the future? So avastha kuda past, present, future.
Got it, ma'am.
Lakshana also you will have, oh, I'm sorry. The annotations are gone. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah. Keep a track of the time. Now I didn't look at the time. Let me know when you want me to stop. Until then, I'll keep going. Dharma, Lakshana, Avastha. Getting it? So now, dharma, as we've seen, is the quality, right? It's the quality of the substance. What is the quality of the substance? It could be some XYZ. Every substance will have some property, right? Every substance will have some property. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So dharma also will transform. Dharma also will have a change. What do I mean by will have a change? It might have had a past. It is having a present. It would have a
Future.
future. Getting it? Now, lakshana. What did I say about lakshana? Lakshana is the symptom, the sign, the indication. What is the indication? Indication also could be every substance will have some lakshana, right? Lakshana is the indication which is related to that substance. Okay. Lakshana also will keep transforming from past to present to future. Similarly, avastha, the state or the condition, that will also change, keep transforming. The parinama, the word parinama that you see in the sutra is nothing but the word that relates to or means transformation. Dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinama. What are the three kinds of parinamas? Dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinama, vyakhyata. Getting it? Yes or no? You need to respond. Otherwise, I will not feel confident.
Yes, ma'am.
The Vyakhyata I didn't get, ma'am. The rest of the concepts
Vyakhyata
I
means
understood.
the word vyakhya. Vyakhya means to explain. So vyakhyata means that which can be explained, that which is explainable. Who can explain anything in detail about what it was, what it is, and what it would be?
One who meditated.
One who is that focused on that object, who has done samyama and is a master of that particular object. Okay, only such a person will be able to talk about its dharma lakshana avastha in the past, present, and future forms. Getting it? So,
Yes, ma'am.
dharma lakshana avastha for clay could be something in the past, something in the present, something else in the future. Now, at present, it might be in the form of a lump. Okay, this form. Okay, like after a few days, then I decide to use my potter's wheel. I use my potter's wheel and start using the clay to mold something. Okay, I make this. Okay, from this, this was my present state at a past time. Okay, sorry, my English is going bad. This is for example, this is my present state. Now, my present state is clay. Okay. Tomorrow, say for example, tomorrow is my present state. Tomorrow, I use the potter's wheel and make a pot like this. Okay. This would be my present state, and the lump of clay would get into the past state. Yes or no? This would become the past avastha.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is my present avastha. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe if this breaks, it would become shards. Okay, meaning it is broke, it's completely broken, it's in pieces. Is that possible in the future?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
very much possible, right? This is a very simple example. Why people take this example is for you to be able to easily understand. The past, it was a lump of clay. The present, it is a matka. It is a pitcher or a goblet or a pot which is made of that clay. And in the future, if it falls off or if something happens, it will break into pieces. Okay, that is the future of it. And again, from those pieces, again, when it is nicely soaked in water, again it goes back to form clay. Yes or no?
That's the doubt I had, ma'am. Will it be able to go back to its original nature? That was the
Some
question.
substances do, some substances don't. It again depends on the dharma and the dharma of the object, the substance. Because you see, there are certain materials which can't go back into the same form.
But if ma'am we will take object gold, then it can be go back.
Hmm?
If you can take object gold,
Yeah,
in
some
gold,
objects now clay also when even the broken pieces again when it is nicely soaked in water, it becomes soft, right?
yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
It becomes soft and again it can be made into a clay. It can be made into a lump of clay after soaking it. Certain objects do have that property of getting back into the original state, like gold, like clay. Now, can milk go back into its original state?
No,
Uh,
ma'am.
can't go to original state of milk. Yes ma'am.
It can't go back. Now, we have made chain out of milk, like we have used some citric substance and we tried to shatter that, break that milk, and we tried to make something out of that. Can it go back to its original avastha?
No
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It can't. Some substances cannot. Some substances can. Okay, that is the dharma of that particular substance. You getting it now? You are able to understand dharma with this. It can't go back to its original state. Now, when you see a particular kind of a sign or a symptom, an indication, that is called as lakshana. Okay, that lakshana gives you an indication that this is the kind of substance that you have. It also could be having a present, past, and a future. But when you see a particular sign or a symptom or an indication, that tells you that it relates to this particular object. Okay, like sun might have a golden glow at a particular time that we look at it. Not always does the sun look the same to us, right? Throughout the day, if you observe the sun, the shades of the sun also keep changing. The shades of the sun in the dawn and the dusk are very different from the shades that we see during the noon. So that is the lakshana, the signs or the indications.
And can we say, according to this clay, can we say that this is soft, after that it becomes pot, it becomes hard, like that we can say this is as a lakshana?
Yes, it becomes hard. That is the lakshana. Okay, the colors also are lakshana. Getting it? Is this clear to all of you? This is the example of gold. Like this is the raw gold that you see on the left side, and when it is molded into something and it's made into an ornament, it looks something different. That was the past, this is the present, and again, if you want to give it back and get something different out of it, now it will be converted into again plain gold, and then again it will be molded into something else. Isn't it? So this is how dharma, lakshana, and avastha are so very important. The three parinamas, the transformation of dharma, lakshana, avastha, can be understood and explained by a person who has mastered samyama. That is what is very important from the sutra. Like we have spent quite a bit of time on this. I hope you understood.
I had just found out here in the explanation that they give that by these three parinamas there. That three parinamas indicate this dharma lakshana avastha before those nirodha and samadhi ekabra parinamas.
Those are the parinamas. What do you understand by the word parinama? It is transformation or change, right? Transformation or change. The meaning of the word as it is transformation or change. Now here the transformation is with respect to dharma, which are the attributes or the properties, quality or properties of the object. We are taking one particular object and we are trying to say that the transformation or change is in the property of that substance. The change is with regards to the sign or the indication of that object, or the change is with regards to the condition or the state in which the object is or was. You getting it? This is confined to the object. The parinamas that we have seen, dharma lakshana avastha, are with regards to the substance. Now, what were the earlier parinamas that we have seen, the transformations? The earlier parinamas were related to nirodha, samadhi, ekagra. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So, nirodha, samadhi, and ekagra, those three parinamas, the transformations were with respect to the process of samyama. When we started with the process of samyama, like focusing on dharana, then moving into dhyana and samadhi, the initial stage that we have seen was nirodhavastha, nirodha parinama. Then samadhi parinama, which is the next transformation. The third transformation was ekagrita parinama. Now, when you put them in chronology, which is the first one which comes? Nirodha parinama. In Nirodha parinama, we saw that kshana krama. Like in that particular moment, the cognition that arises, one is trying hard to capture that and imprint that in the memory. Isn't it? And in the samadhi parinama, all other cognitions are gone except the single pointed focus on that object. And in ekagra parinama, every cognition that is coming about in the mind is related to that one object only. So you see how the transformation is happening in terms of the focus, in terms of samyama. Okay, from nirodha, it improved to samadhi. From samadhi, it improved to ekagrita. Now, there's only one point that the mind is thinking about. Every cognition that is coming into the mind is only about that one object. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
The
Ma'am, can we
difference
stop the
between,
class, ma'am?
yeah,
Ma'am, is it-
yeah. So I can go on, but it all depends on you. Okay. But this
Most
concept,
of them have left, ma'am. Most of them have left the class.
really, I didn't even bother to look at who's in the call. Okay. Okay. So I think this is clear to you, right? Was this kind of difficult for you to understand, or what do you feel? You're able to understand any difficulty, because this is quite a heavy concept.
And still I have that confusion, but I don't want to. If there is time, like, can you explain, or else we will leave?
Yeah, I can explain. Like, those who want to stay on call can stay. Otherwise, we can also do it tomorrow
Ma'am,
if others also.
tomorrow we can. Yes, ma'am. Tomorrow we'll revise, ma'am, so that
Sure.
we just
Shravani,
sleep
keep
over
your
it
question
and
coming. I mean, we'll talk about this in tomorrow's class. In the meantime, if you want to talk to me, I mean, you can call me. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll end the class because it's already 10:20. We'll end the class. Okay. You're starting off at 7, right? When are you starting with your classes in the morning?
7 to 8 anatomy, ma'am.
Anatomy. Okay. Anatomy, and then when do you have the next class?
Evening ICT was supposed to be there, but it was not there. After that, 7:30 yoga bija and then your class, ma'am.
Okay, today you didn't have a lot of Hatha Pradipika class is over, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, we'll stop the recording and then we can probably discuss about the